Hey there, boaters. I'm Captain Stacy Hanrahan, and welcome to Friday's episode of The Boaters TV. First up, our Captain's Caption photo was provided by Daniel Contreras. We'll reveal the caption of the day at the end of the show. Next up in Bosun's Locker, we're shopping for foul weather gear in our blue water sailing segment. Over the years, foul weather gear choices have increased with different fabrics and designs hitting the market. So we've turned to Blue Water Sailing's Jen Brett for help on choosing the right gear. The first question to ask yourself, what type of cruising will you be doing? Obviously, a cruise through the Bahamas won't require the same gear as a cruise to Alaska. Research the weather patterns for the area you'll be cruising and think about your watch schedule. If you'll be crewing a lot on deck, you might want to look at some of the heavier options. That brings us to the difference between coastal gear and offshore gear. Generally, coastal gear is 2-layer fabric and offshore is 3-layer. Other differences are in the details. Offshore gear usually has the higher collar and a more adjustable hood, making it more expensive than coastal gear. Jen tells us the coastal gear is a good choice for most cruisers, even ones going on a long offshore passage. Look for fleece-lined pockets, strong double zippers with flaps, high visibility hoods, and reflective patches. But the way the gear fits you is most important. Try on a bunch of brands and styles, move around in them, then pick what's most comfortable and has enough room for layers underneath. The thermal layers, not the Foulies, will keep you warm. For much more on foul weather gear, including what the Blue Water Sailing writers are wearing themselves, and details on the types of fabrics available, go to www.bwsailing.com. Now it's time for our Boat Test Reports feature of the week, where we'll take a look at the 225 Bowrider from Bayliner.
Captain Rob Smith with BoatTEST.com. I'm on Bayliner's 225 Bowrider. The 225 is Bayliner's largest runabout, incorporating their next generation design. The stern of the 225 is going to be a focus for you. You can set up on the sun pad and enjoy the view, or down here on the extended swim platform attached onto the transom, which we like because not only does it give you a lot of room, it also extends over the stern drive lower unit for safety. I like the center walkthrough as it's more stable and easier for the driver to see you. Well, like I said, you got a lot of room in here. You can see I can get down in there, and I'm not a small guy. So you got plenty of room to get around here and put anything in that you want to. And when you do your routine maintenance, you're going to love it too. Let's take a look at the other storage on board. Plenty of room in here to put some things. These seats flip up. Much more convenient, but take a look here. Opening up all the storage in the back, you can really expose the engine compartment. My only suggestion back here was to move the battery switch to a more convenient location. Well, as you can see, with this much space on board, conversation is going to be something that's going on all the time. Up front's a beach boarding ladder to make it simple to board from the bow when you're at your favorite beach. Gauges are easy to see, and at the navigator seat you have a glove box to keep your wallet and papers dry. I'm 6 feet tall, and while seated I had good sight lines forward, and the windshield frame was not in the way. The throttle was placed just right for me while seated. The 225 Bowrider measures 22 feet 6 inches length overall with a beam of 8 feet 6 inches. She tips the scales with standard Mercruiser 5-liter 220 horsepower engines and Alpha 1 drive at 3,750 pounds and carries a total of 50 gallons of fuel and 10 gallons of fresh water. Engine options can take this up to 300 horsepower 350 mag MPI with Bravo 3 stern drive unit for some real excitement on the water. I tested the 225 Bowrider in a brackish channel that protected us from a brisk wind. She handled very well in tight turns and acceleration. She was on plane in 4.4 seconds and up to 30 miles per hour in 9.7 seconds. Her best cruise speed was around 24.5 miles per hour at 2,500 RPM for a full tank range of 168 miles. Top speed was measured at 49 miles per hour, turning 4,400 RPM, which is the bottom of the specified operating RPM range.
Thanks to BoatTest for that report. To see more of the Bayliner 225 Bowrider, you can cruise on over to BoatTest website at www.boattest.com. Next in Did You Know, tomorrow is a special day. Tomorrow, September 27th, is National Hunting and Fishing Day. It's a nationwide celebration aimed to build public support for outdoor lifestyles. Congress declared the first National Hunting and Fishing Day in 1972 to recognize hunters, anglers, and their conservation efforts. Did you know that through license fees and excise taxes, America's 34 million hunters and anglers generate $100,000 every 30 minutes for fish, wildlife, and habitat programs? This year, outdoor television star Michael Waddell has been selected as the day's honorary chairman. Past spokesmen include Jeff Foxworthy, Hank Williams Jr., and Terry Bradshaw. All types of expos, clinics, and contests will be held around the nation. So for more information and to find an event happening in your area, go to www.nhfday.org. And now it's time for this week's Best Bed in Boating blogs. This week, we're reading Tugster, a water blog. When walking through the busy streets of New York City, many people are oblivious to the waterways that surround this bustling metropolis. Tugster is a blog about New York Harbor, the 6th borough. Written by a college English teacher, Tugster shows readers a view of New York from the water. He's got picture after picture of the harbor's many varied tugs and bridges, so step off the streets and head over to tugster.wordpress.com. And finally today, the captain's caption of the day is, "See, the sun is above the yardarm. Break out the beer." Submitted by Gregory. And that'll do it for this episode of the Boaters TV. See you back here on Monday.